December 27, 2014, from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. It was the Sun Bowl between the Arizona State Sun Devils and the Duke Blue Devils. So to start the scoring off in the first quarter, Arizona State would get on the board first when Demario Richard ripped a 9-yard touchdown run to put the Sun Devils on the scoreboard first with the score Arizona State 7, Duke 0. Then with about 7.5 minutes left in the first, Zane Gonzalez hit a 28-yard field goal. That put the Sun Devils up by 10 with the score Arizona State 10, Duke 0. Then with 3 minutes left in the first, Ross Martin would hit a 40-yard field goal as the Blue Devils got on the scoreboard, and the score was now Arizona State 10, Duke 3. And that was the score after of 1 quarter of play. Then in the second quarter, about 3 minutes in, Zane Gonzalez hit a 38-yard field goal, and that would extend the Sun Devils' lead to 10 with the score now Arizona State 13, Duke 3. And then Demario Richard got his second touchdown of the game, a 1-yard touchdown run halfway through the second, and it was now 20-3 Arizona State over Duke. Duke finally got in the end zone about 4 minutes before halftime when Anthony Boone hit Shaquille Powell for a 14-yard touchdown pass that cut the lead to 10, and it was now Arizona State 20, Duke 10. And then with less than 2 minutes left before halftime, Jamison Crowder returned a punt 68 yards to make it a 3-point game, as it was now Arizona State 20, Duke 17. So that would be the score at halftime. Then in the third quarter, Arizona State scored 10 unanswered points. First, with about 11 minutes left in the third, Taylor Kelly hit Demario Richard for an 11-yard touchdown pass, the third time Richard got into the end zone for the Sun Devils, and it was now Arizona State 27, Duke 17. And then with about 2.5 minutes left in the third, Zane Gonzalez added a 47-yard field goal to make it Arizona State 30, Duke 17. So that was the score after 3 quarters of play. Then to begin the fourth, Duke actually scored 14 unanswered as they responded, first with a 14-yard touchdown from Anthony Boone to Jonathan Barnes, and that made it a 6-point game with the score Arizona State 30, Duke 24. And then with about 5 minutes left in the fourth, Jamison Crowder hit Isaac Blankenly for a 12-yard touchdown, and Duke was now in the lead with the score Duke 31, Arizona State 30. But then less than a half a minute later, Taylor Kelly hit Demario Richard for his 4th touchdown, Demario Richard's 4th touchdown of the game, 2 running, 2 receiving, and that gave Arizona State a 5-point lead. They went for the 2-point conversion. It failed, and so it was now Arizona State 36, Duke 31. And the Sun Devils were able to hold the Blue Devils out of the end zone for the rest of the game, and they win the Sun Bowl. So the Sun Devils win the Sun Bowl with the final score, Arizona State 36, Duke 31. And in this game, Taylor Kelly was 24 for 34 with 240 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 24 yards on the ground off of 9 carries. Anthony Boone was 15 for 31 with 193 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He also had 29 yards on the ground off of 6 carries. And the leading rusher in this game was Shaquille Powell. He had 29 carries for 117 yards for the Blue Devils, and for the Sun Devils, DJ Foster had 11 carries for 79 yards to be their leading rusher. The leading receiver in the game was Jalen Strong. He had 7 receptions for 103 yards. DJ Foster also had 3 receptions for 42 yards to go with his 79 rushing yards. And for the Blue Devils, Jamison Crowder had 7 receptions for 102 yards to be their leading receiver. And Shaquille Powell had 52 yards receiving and 3 off of 3 receptions, including a touchdown, to go with his 117 yards rushing as well. And on defense, the lone interception in this game was for Kawishi Brown. And so the Sun Devils hold on to win this one by 5 with the final score in the Sun Bowl, Arizona State 36, Duke 31.